What's up, y'all? Back again. While the Wizards didn't do much in the regular season, they've had a busy week making sure they do even less next season. It's a fire sale in DC. Y'all heard that right, and we're here to break it all down and more. As always, it's Tyler Murray here with my brother, my dog, my co-host, Firas.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Talking about the Wizards who look like they want to lose, the no trade, the Suns who look like they've got better but got worse. I don't know. We got all that and more to talk about.
Really on the plug, really on the plug.
Let's get into it. CP3 to Golden State, and it's funny. Of all the destinations, Golden State would have been the last I'd be guessing. Mere days after being traded to Washington, Chris Paul is on the move again, this time to Golden State.
Man, that one was a shocker. I ain't even gonna lie. I don't know how this is gonna work. Do they bring him off the bench? Because you can't bring a guy like CP3 off the bench. I mean, I still think he has a lot to bring to the table. Before we even could get into this Golden State Warriors situation, did you think the Wizards were gonna just basically dump Brad Beal for Landry Shamet and some picks? You know what I mean?
No, this was a shocker. And when we all saw the details, we were all like, dang. But that's the power of the no trade clause, bro. Another thing that surprised me talking about that haul for Washington was, this is all you can get back for Jordan Poole? I thought it was a pool party. Ain't no splashing allowed? What happened, bro? A 40-year-old point guard and you had to throw in picks to get off Jordan Poole? That's crazy to me.
Yeah, man. I ain't even gonna lie, right? This is the thing, though. I believe based on what Jordan Poole just got paid, is Chris Paul making more than Jordan Poole, or does he get signed to a new contract altogether?
No.
Salaries
lined up. That's why they were able to make that deal.
And this is the thing, bro. They signed rid of Jordan Poole had nothing to do with his ability to play on the floor, bro. The guy basically, not to say they were going to win a championship this year, and I don't want to call him a cancer in the locker room, but for that locker room, he was one. I mean, it's not just Dre that he pissed off. There's a couple of times where he really pissed off Steph. I don't know if you know
How you going to get hit in the face and be called the cancer at the same time?
You're right. But I mean,
I see what you're saying, though. He's an antagonizer. He's a confident little guy coming in with all those guys waving their finger around. You know how about Clay, how he loves to shove that in everyone's faces.
I mean, even some of his game decisions, like, I don't know if you know the famous play. It was a big game, fourth quarter. I don't know if they were up or if they were down by one, but then basically Jordan Poole gets an offensive rebound on a long 3 rebound or whatever. Brand new shot clock. Immediately chucks it up from like 35 feet out, like near half court. Steph looks at him, throws his mouth guard out, gets ejected from the game. That's that game. Legit Jordan Poole. And then Jordan Poole ends up hitting the game-winning layup, I believe it was. So, they laughed it off. But there's a lot of animosity there, nonetheless. And so, like you said, I expected a lot. They would get a lot more for Jordan Poole. But the Warriors just like, get him out of here. Just get him out of here.
Yeah, well, I found this deal not only interesting because of the players being moved, it's also because of the implications that it has. Chris Haynes had the report that the Warriors are not waiving Chris Paul, having a wink-wink deal where he's going to restructure his deal and come back at a lower number. That means Chris Paul is on the books for his full salary, and that means Draymond, who just opted out 3 days ago, may just be done in Golden State. Where's that money going to come from? We know the tax is shrinking. How are they going to manage to pay all these guys? I don't think they can. They just traded their heady, aging point forward in Draymond for a heady, aging point guard in Chris Paul. And you asked about the fit. I think this is how it goes. CP is going to have the ball in his hands a lot more than he has the past few years. He'll take on Draymond's role offensively, spraying out the shooter, Splash Brothers coming off pin downs, just like he's 16.
Bro, am I missing something? Did Draymond Green get traded too?
Nah, he opted out. He had a player option and he just opted out of his deal.
Okay. I must have, because I'm like, wait a minute. The way that you're talking, I'm like, okay, word. All right, no. I mean, yeah, like you said, he cannot test the waters for free agency. But do you think he leaves?
I think based on what we just saw with this trade, the Warriors are moving on from Draymond. Because
I think
literally,
so too.
how does I know Chris Paul has played off the ball, but we already are a small team. Why would we take Steph, put him at the 2 guard for an even smaller defensive liability at the 1? If you are going to put the ball in his hands, it's got to come out of someone's. It's not coming out of Steph's. It's got to be Dre.
You're 100% right. And matter of fact, this is the thing with Dre. we know the value that he brings, right? His numbers, his impact doesn't show. Although you're getting great playmaking, great defense, you are giving up a few things. I mean, you're giving up rebounding, you're giving up size inside, right? For a traditional size power forward or center. And at the times where they play small, yeah, I get it, they're playing small, but he's been their 5 consistently, you know. And like you said, Chris Paul can more than take over the ball handling duties and definitely can get Steph Curry in rhythm. I mean, you're gonna miss the Dre and Steph pick and roll. You know what I mean? They were so good at it, but at the same time, like that big small it was a very interesting one to see. Like you said, Chris Paul's gonna pick up all of these ball handling abilities, playmaking abilities. The ball's gonna be in his hand more. Don't be surprised to see his scoring average jump up a little bit, especially with the departure of Jordan Poole. And this is the
Yep.
thing: if Draymond leaves, I think this is actually a good thing for the Warriors. Only in the ability that you can't have small Chris Paul on the court, like you were alluding to, and small Dre on the court. You got to make up for the size for somewhere. Andrew Wiggins gives you nice size. Klay Thompson isn't bad, but then you got to get a big man.
Yeah, I'm with you. And I think this decision was made a couple months ago with Bob Myers still in the building. I think him, Joe Lacob, the ownership group, all right, we got to move off Draymond. He's going to want long-term money, and he should. $26 million is a lot for him, but it's only for 1 year. Your Draymond aging, your Draymond getting older, injured. Why wouldn't you want the security that comes with a long-term deal? And then
Correct.
I think Bill was looking, what's his name? Bob. I knew I was fucking it up. It's Bob.
Right.
I think Bob Myers looked at that and was like, all right, yeah, we need to move off from him, but I'm not going to be the one to pull the trigger. They got close ties. They got their boys. So he didn't want to ruin the relationship. He's an owner. I mean, he was an agent before this. He's going to be an agent after it. So if my hunch is right, it feels like an admission. If my hunch is right, Draymond's not coming back this era as we know it. Steph, Klay, Dre, it just might be over. And I think, like you mentioned, it's the right decision for Golden State for a few reasons. One being the defense. It hasn't been the same. It hasn't been what it once was, and for a long time now. And it seems it's time for a new strategy, one that retools around the shooters, one that retools around Steph while he still has the remaining 4 or 5 years of his prime and tries to outscore teams. But still, man, I did not see this one coming.
Bro, you said it. Almost makes you a little sentimental, man, to see these guys breaking up. I mean, dude, Steph, Klay, and Dre have been together since Klay and Dre joined the league in the same year. They've won 4 championships, 6 NBA finals. I mean, they've broken records together. Steve Kerr came in and helped take them to the next level. So you're used to seeing that group together. It's going to be really weird to see them without Draymond. I mean, Draymond, as much as Steph is the Golden State Warriors and Klay is the Golden State Warriors, Draymond is the Golden State Warriors as well. You know, don't be surprised to see him come back, but at the same time, be a real shocker. Which I mean, again, wouldn't be
have to be at a
surprised to see him
discount.
leave.
Does
Facts.
Draymond strike you as I'm gonna give you a discount type of guy?
No, sir. No, sir. I need my money paid in full. You know, but nonetheless, I don't think as of right now, the way the roster is currently constructed, let's just say Draymond is still there for now. I don't think they got worse.
No.
You know, I think they added experience. I think they added ball handling. I think they added a veteran. You know what I mean? Somebody who's gonna know his role and contribute where he sees fit. You know, I think they improved.
Yeah. And I think the Washington Wizards improved. It's like, no, what am I talking about? But
These men traded away all their hopes.
I know, bro. Yeah. Well, you know, it wasn't really working. I guess they got tired of the mediocrity.
Y'all already know what it is. We was talking about trades, man. It's not just the Phoenix Suns shaking it up with the Brad Beal. No, trade. You know what I mean? We got a 3-team trade in the mix. You know what I mean? Whenever we get these 3-team trades, we always see some serious movements. Usually there's one team that this trade is really done for. I don't know if these owners have some backroom deals done where they're like, all right, bro, listen, we're ass already. You know what I mean? We'll work one out. Give us some pieces to build with. I mean, I don't know if this was necessarily one of those situations, but it was a big trade nonetheless. We got the Memphis Grizzlies. We got the Memphis Grizzlies. We got the Boston Celtics. And we got the Washington Wizards all in the mix. The Celtics trade away their longtime veteran, their heart and soul of the team, former depoy Marcus Smart. Kristaps Porzingis, I'm not going to really say much about him. Gets traded away as well. I mean, the Wizards probably are winning on that one. And then they get 2 first-round picks from Memphis. And the Wizards get Tyus Jones and Gallinari, pick number 35 in the draft as well. Ty, thoughts on this trade? What things shocked you the most? What things did you like about this trade? And do you think any of these teams are going to be successful with this move?
Well, Porzingis did have a great year, so Washington might be crying a little bit, but we did know Danny Ainge was fleecing guys in Boston. Looks like Brad Stevens picked up right where he left off. How do you turn Marcus Smart and a 34-year-old who literally missed all of last season into Kristaps Porzingis coming off a career year and 2 first-round picks? Guys, even though they got the haul, this couldn't have been an easy decision for the Celtics. To move on from a guy that, as you pointed to, became the heart and soul of a team, 9 years with the organization, has to be a difficult decision. But here's why they did it. They sold high. When the value's at its highest. It wouldn't get no higher than it is right now. It was the right time. Like we said, 9 years, Smart had maxed out what he could be as an NBA player. Way to strike while the iron is hot.
You bring up a good point, and that's the problem with a lot of teams and a lot of people, right? And this is the thing, right? You want to hold on to something when it's good. You don't want it when it's bad. And it's not like saying get rid of a good thing, but sometimes you got to see the vision, right? I mean, Marcus Smart, like you said, he's not getting any better. He's not getting any younger. He's going to be solid. He's going to give you what you need. And they just got, like you said, Porzingis was off a career year. I'm not very high on Porzingis. I'm not saying he got lucky. He put in the work. He's always had that potential. You know what I mean? But they get Porzingis, like you said, off a career year. First round picks galore in Boston. I mean, Lord knows what they're going to turn that into in 2028. I think the Grizzlies kind of did well here as well. I don't think they gave up much because they're already young. They don't necessarily need the first round picks, but Marcus Smart is going to make a difference to that team, dude.
It's exactly what the doctor ordered for Memphis. And speaking of a need, they needed a guard to fill in while Ja serves his 25 to life. And more importantly than that, they needed a veteran leader with the intangibles to snatch that gun out of John Moran's hand next time he picks it up. And Smart's going to bring all that and more, bro. Memphis is doing something I like a lot. A throwback to when we were just young pups watching this game. They're looking to replicate those Tony Allen, Zebo years. That grit and grind team we fell in love with. 2 depoys in the mix. And they're both in the starting lineup. How about Marcus Smart, 2 years removed from a depoy? Jaren Jackson Jr., 1 year removed. I like it a lot. Smart on the perimeter, locking stuff up. Jaren Jackson Jr. at the basket to clean it up if you get by. And Smart is definitely 100%, unequivocally, an upgrade over Dylan Brooks. He's still going to chuck up like Dylan Brooks, but he's giving you more on the offensive end in terms of consistency, playmaking, and I just like this trade for so many reasons.
I'm right there with you. There's no doubt about it. It is indeed a parade inside their city. Yeah. Marcus Smart, man, great addition to the squad. You get everything you need. Like you said, just what the doctor ordered. You get the defense that you need from the backcourt, to help with the front court. Now when John Morant comes back, I mean, yeah, they're going to definitely ease him into it. But you have a guy who could genuinely give you 15 points a game while also playing world-class defense. That's exactly what this team needs. They need somebody consistent. They need somebody who at times can not necessarily be your lead scorer, but get a basket for you when you need a basket, right? And I'm not going to tell you Marcus Smart's but he's a heart player who always finds himself in the right position and can get you a timely basket. Absolutely. So this is perfect for this team. You get the veteran leadership. Marcus Smart also is not no bum. I mean, I don't think this guy is out in the club on a Saturday night, right? Marcus Smart, he's been around the block before. You know what I mean? And he's going to be able to keep these young boys in check. And he's going to definitely be able to tell them when they're wilding, like when Dylan Brooks was wilding, you know what I'm saying? When John Morant said he's fine in the West, obviously wilding, and all other Jaws off the court incidents as well. I don't know if you saw, by the way, John Morant posted a video of him with a gun that was actually a lighter. I was claiming that it was that gun. Maybe we'll just get you a Bic for your birthday or something.
Yeah, bro. Come on. No one's buying that. And even if it is, have you not done enough? Like even the fake video is too much. It's too soon, bro.
Facts. And again, we got to emphasize it's not anything illegal that he's done. But, the NBA's decision is made, dude. Once that you had to get called in for it a second time, Forget about it. Adam Silver's bringing the hammer down, and you take your suspension for they really, really end your career. These men don't play.
Yeah. And Boston fans, I know y'all gonna miss Marcus Smart, man. He's meant a lot to you guys over the years. He's been there since Isaiah Thomas. He's been there since Jason Tatum was in his rookie year. Same thing for JB. But I could see again why they moved off. You got Malcolm Brogdon in the fold, who's just coming off a 6 Man of the Year campaign. He was Rookie of the Year. All right. He's qualified for the job. Derek White, who played into a bigger role this year and had some moments both this postseason and the last one. Smart will be missed. He supplied all the grit that Boston team so desperately needed. And replacing him with a grown man named the Unicorn, not exactly a great solution. But we'll see how that works out. In terms of on the court, I love the KP fit. A 7'3" big man coming off his best year, like we said, since he played in New York. Still got a lot left in the tank. He's only 28, which is kind of a shocker to me. He seems like he's 35, but that's just because big men end age in dog years, I think. But a high upside version of Al Horford for them. He's going to do a lot of the same things. I think it's going to work out for them in Boston.
Yeah. And I'm going to be honest, I don't really think, obviously this team is equipped to win sooner than later. They're not going to wait on no first round picks. But I think for a team like the Celtics, like Porzingis played well enough, we're willing to roll the dice. But give me them first round picks. Need that, all that. Give me that. You know, just let me stockpile them.
You do need to, especially if you're a contender, because with the CBA cranking down on those high spending teams, you need cheap contracts, and you can't get them with veterans. Definitely can't get them through free agency. It's only going to come through the draft where you can get that bargain deal. So you're right. It's not just them. We saw Denver trade in and trade up in that draft. That just happened last night. So that's the new way of the world in the NBA, man. All right. I gave KP his flowers. I was pretty nice to him, don't you think?
Yeah, I was shocked.
Yeah.
I was shocked.
Yeah, now I can say how I really feel. I got that objective shit out the way. Yo, you know me, lifelong Knicks fan here. I think it's time to dust it off. I got to bring that Porzingis hate back out the closet. We took a break the last 2 seasons, bro.
I'm trying to figure out.
But I am back.
Bro, I was just trying to figure out what was going on. I was like, man, like Ty didn't even bite on the KP joke. Like, this man hates him more than anybody. Like,
yeah, I took a break, man. He was struggling out there. He was only averaging like 16. He just became kind of a bum. Luka took his confidence away with him when he didn't pass to him down in Dallas. And like I felt like I gave him a break. You know, I was taking every possible opportunity to remind the good listeners of this program what a 7-3 waste of space looks like. But we're back. We're back.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
All right, y'all. We got to get into it. The big trade that set off the course of events that we have in front of us now. Bradley Beal being moved from Washington. Ooh, I didn't like this deal in the previous CBA. I'm not going to lie to y'all. I've been the Suns hater since the trade went down and Kevin Durant entered the arena. I don't know why. Maybe it was my fake net fandom that lasted for about 6 seconds, but I didn't like the deal in the old CBA. But in the new one, this is just nasty work, bro. Does Bradley Beal make sense? Does he sound like a $57 million a year guy to you? I'm confused by this.
Dog, not when you have Kevin Durant and Devin Booker there who could do everything he could do, but way better. What were they planning to do? Bring him off the bench? I know you're not bringing Brad Beal off the bench after you're paying this man $50 million. You know what I'm saying? Like, on top of that, again, you're going to just have him stand in the corner?
Right.
What you're going to have Brad Beal do? You are not getting better. You are just clogging your backcourt, right? I mean, and your front. KD is basically a 7-foot guard, right? Let's be honest here. So you need 3 guys who basically they need the ball in their hands to score the rock, right? And they were already good. What they needed to do was they needed to get rid of Chris Paul to get a bench. They didn't need to get rid of him to get Brad Beal. How do you think that they're going to justify this one?
You know what they can't justify?
Yeah.
Matt Ishbia, 4 months ago, got appointed as owner of the Phoenix Suns. At that point, 4 months ago this year, they had the rights to every one of their picks till 2030. He's let that go like this. They don't have one.
No
It's been 4
way.
months. He got rid of them things like hot potatoes. Bro, what are you doing? I know all in is a phrase we like to use up here. This is just, I don't even have words.
You said through 2030? Through the decade?
Yes.
What does he plan to do? Trade KD when KD wants to leave? KD probably going to leave at the end of the contract.
KD's not even going to be in the league. Y'all going to be still paying for picks.
Facts, bro. That's crazy. I mean, don't get me wrong. I understand wanting to win now and that wanting to win now mentality for a team like Phoenix. I mean, I think of them. They're a smaller market, but they're still a pretty big market, right? But again, let's call them smaller market city, right? They have a diehard fan base like a Denver Nuggets, right? And they've been begging for this team to win. They sniffed it when Charles Barkley was there, but we're talking about 30 years ago, right? So I don't know if Ishbia is trying to come in with a bang. He said, I'm doing this and I'm doing this now. Call me, call JG Wentworth. It's my money. I need it right now, you know? But that is not smart, man. That is not a way you want to operate in the NBA. Like we just talked about. For you to be a good team, you need a bench, right? And with all these new rules coming down, you need cheap contracts. And this is just not the way they're gonna get it done, man.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't think this was a good trade for the Suns.
Yeah, I wasn't sure which way you're going to go on this, but after hearing you for the first 3 minutes on this topic, I think it's safe to say, Phoenix faithful, turn off the rest of this podcast because you're not going to like what we have to say. I like but I like what you had to say about Bradley Beal standing in the corner because that's exactly what he's going to do. Because when coach sees KD, Devin Booker, there ain't no reason for a Brad Beal ISO. Okay, that's for sure. But are we sure he can even do what we're asking him to do? Stand in the corner, be a spot-up shooter. He hasn't done that since he was a rookie and John Wall was handling the ball in the squad.
Facts.
For his to work, there needs to be a reinvention. Jordan's discovering the post-up. Kobe in the late stages finding his fadeaway. Something like what Ray Allen was able to do. A guy used to having the ball in his hands in the Seattle days, a prolific scorer that didn't do much winning until he got traded to a contender in Boston. Ray was able to change the way he played, moved largely off the ball, yet still had a great impact in games. Do we think Brad Beal can and will make this kind of transition?
To be quite frank, I thought it was too early for him to make that Ray Allen Miami Heat kind of transition. I mean, definitely I could see Celtics kind of vibe, but I mean, just paying too much for this guy can, again, if he does what we know he can do, can go and average 25 points per game on a team, can be a good piece for a contender, second option for sure. But a third option, and he's legitimately going to be reduced to a catch and shoot guy. You're just overpaying for a catch and shoot guy. Call Kyle Korver up. I'm sure he could still catch and shoot. I'm sure he's a lot cheaper than 50-something mil.
Yeah.
And you could figure out another way to get rid of Chris Paul and get some guys off the bench. I mean, really and truly, they needed to get rid of Chris Paul. Him being on the court was a waste of his talent. He's not an excellent three-point shooter where he's able to spread the floor enough, but not really great. Wasn't a very good three-point shooter like that. I say all that to say, man, they did need to get rid of Chris Paul, but you don't go and take an almost even more expensive contract that doesn't give you anything different. If it was like, okay, trade DeAndre Ayton for another big, like even trade Chris Paul for a big and find a way to get rid of DeAndre Ayton for a bench, maybe. But it's just too many people in that backcourt up there.
Too many
man.
hooks in the kitchen, and they're all playing on the perimeter. It's not even like you have the spacing of okay, we got the ticket in the post, Paul Pierce in the wing, Ray Allen running around the perimeter. Nah, these are all three jump shooting perimeter guards. KD is a guard. That's how he plays. I don't want to hear it. Shouts out Bill Simmons for this comp, though. Going back to that Ray Allen thing. Ray Allen in 07, Seattle, usage rate. He was getting 21 field goal attempts per game. Next year, he went to Boston, like we said, the third option. In a perfect spaced environment, your stars are in all the right places using different areas of the court, and his usage rate drops 10 points, and he's only shooting from 21 field goals attempts down to 13 a game. He, and Brad Beal, was a 30-point per game guy. He hasn't even been that for a couple years, and there is no renaissance on the way. We're talking about 23 points per game on a team that didn't make the play in the last 2 seasons.
Yeah, not his finest moments. I mean, I'm sure injury plays a part, but nonetheless, it can't be good enough, and I don't think this Phoenix Suns team gets any better. Speaking of not getting any better, man, Mariah Mills just got her Twitter deactivated. Elon Musk said, I've had enough of this Zion slander, man.
Elon to the rescue. Yo, Zion, you better send him a care package. I'm just saying. We're not going to talk about why. But there were reports, I don't know how believable are, that Zion wouldn't even be a Pelican by the end of draft night. Now let's all take a step back. What really changed here? What really went on? Zion had lady troubles? That's all? If that's all that happened, why would his team want to trade him? Like,
I don't know, man. Listen, dude. Zion does what every NBA player does for the most part, or did what every NBA player does. I mean, you know, I don't even know what to say about this topic, man. It's just, we ain't gonna get into it, but Mariah Mills making headlines for all the wrong reasons. Zion Williamson joining her. You guys already know the story.
man,
We don't really
he's
gotta
an
get in.
NBA athlete filled with testosterone. He's the third heaviest player in like one of the mediocre small packages. No, hold on, I can't even say packages in this discussion. But look, guys.
Hey yo,
this is derailed so quickly.
Never mind. We going into it though. Y'all gonna hear this. Y'all gonna hear it. We not cutting it. We not cutting it, man. Shit, dude.
You can't blame Zion. I don't know. I just think this is a whole lot of fuss for nothing. Zion is half in, half out with. Oh my god.
Ty, man, all I know is, what had me dead Zion was like, how much am I paying you a month? How much was it again?
Did you see her saying Zion be lying to y'all? He drinks sodas every day.
No, I didn't see that. Yo. Hey, bro, I ain't gonna lie. I feel like the cup sizes are bigger in New Orleans, bro. Like, I feel like these men strictly got 62-ounce cups. Like, strictly.
Those cups. Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay. Moving on.
This guy. Ty's on a roll, man.
Drink my green. Oh, wow. All right. I think that's all we got. I think we got to wrap it up before we get kicked off the air.
Before this is the late night edition of the Hoop Plug, yo. All right. It's the late night, but not the late night. All right, but anyways, man, speaking of late night, if you try and get your late night on with your lady, the best place you gotta go is EvanAlexanderGrooming.com. They got everything you need to get sharped up for a fresh date night. We're talking about hair care, skin care, groom care, everything. Whoa. Excuse me. Bro, I like, you know when the spit goes down the wrong pipe. Whatever. It's just I know, bro. I know it's coming. I know. We ain't gonna sit here and act like what you said wasn't pretty terrible as well. All right. So this is not going on the pod.
No, it's going on the pod.
All right. But nonetheless, EvanAlexanderGrooming.com.
That is right, y'all. Plug in that 15%. Save your hairline. Get the beard right so Mariah Mills can contact you next. It's the plug.
Oh, man. We definitely need to get off air. As always, guys, put some flavor in your ear.
Peace.
Peace.